blessings in the mighty name of our King and our Elohim, the Most High. Listen, 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 my people. If you don't learn anything else in life, whatever you attach yourself to, learn the rules of the game. Learn the rules of the game and how to play the game, or you will be played. Now, I made 50,000 videos. I'm like, you got a lot of videos. Now, don't put no more videos. You got enough information on there that if ones do their research, it'll bring you to a level of understanding that can apply solutions. Like me, I'm working on solutions for things. And as I'm working, I'm sharing to inspire. But you got to understand, learn how to play the game. It's a game. And if you don't know the rules to the game, you're going to get played every time. It's like, think about this. Say we get a candidate. Say we would have got Kamala Harris in office, right? Okay, we get her in office. But did we send her up there with a bag to push an agenda for us? Nope. We chose to, okay, we're citizens of these United States of America. Government, break bread. Y'all don't break bread with us. You need to break bread with us. But they fighting it on every level. They get every chance they get, they fight and they push back, which is normal. But let me get to my case in point, because I understand the game. Yeah, we'd have got her in there, but think about this. Then she would have had to succumb to the money lenders. You think they would have lent her the money she needed to run her program, run her business while she was president and she wasn't pushing their agenda first? Now, you hear about it all the time. Lobbyists, corporations, the money handlers. Well, you know, Cynthia, what's our beautiful, the ex-senator name? McKinley. I apologize. Sister Cynthia McKinley. She used to be she was a representative, I believe. Hold on, my other phone. Down in Atlanta. But the thing was, when she came in office, there was a host of things that lenders wanted her to participate in that obviously, for obvious reasons, she's a Atlanta representative. So why would she be trying to do business and uphold ways and ideals of another nation that's not even from here? You don't, like, America just turns a blind eye to them people. You know what people I'm talking about. It's like they just run amok, and America just constantly endorse it like God ain't watching you. Yeah, the people might be, okay, you got to go along with it because we might can't get everything done, but we can get these. Hell no. Let them wallow in their mess. You come out of there. You know what I'm saying? You come out from among them and touch not those unclean things, family, so you can prosper in the way of the Most High. It's for a reason, family. That's like you on drugs, and them drugs got you mentally possessed. Where you looking, you steady going to, you need that hit. But if you didn't, like I was saying, pledge to do business with them people, they withheld money. This information is public knowledge. It's in the public. Yeah, they challenged on it, but truth in the end will make you, in the end, truth will make you free. And it's evident because sister's gone. Certain people you can't mention, family, because why? It's common sense. So since I'm not beholden to them, I don't depend on them for nothing. I feel it's my duty to tell you the truth. I'm a kingdom citizen, not a Christian. I am a Hebrew Israelite, a so-called Negro who have a way. I don't care if all Negroes don't accept that. I don't care. Stay American. Who cares? You got to live that life. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got to live that, not me. So I don't care less. I know who I am, and I know my purpose. And I'm going to continue to do it and push kingdom agenda over man's agenda all day, every day. Even if it upsets the people that so-called love me. I don't care. Keep it moving. I don't care. People different. We're not all the same. And I'm not talking black and white because you got more. I'm around people that look like me more than the other. So, but you can still be effective. Don't be crazy. Now back to what I was saying, case in point. So her and following righteousness to do the right thing by her constituents who sent her in office to represent them chose the people. And she didn't get the money and she got all kind of opposition. Well, same here. Yes, we could have got Kamala in office, but think about this. If we didn't bankroll her agenda, having our businesses us coming together and doing business solely through us together. So when she need to push our agenda to pass certain measures for us, like reparations or other things, we got the top dog in office. We can, butter they biscuit. You did? So they can in turn give us, we plant our seed and they give us what we want. Because if we don't fund it, I could win tomorrow. I could become mayor of Chicago. I believe if I clean my act and hit them streets, I can get the support to push black empowerment agenda. Because that's the spirit out here. You talk about truth of what black people experience and you have some of value where you can contribute to them, it's not gonna be perfect. You're gonna have your bumps and bruises. Like I'm dealing with a car right now, and this freaking car never in my life had a problem. But for some reason, I don't know, my man think I done destroyed the car. I'm like, bro, I can't argue with nobody that don't know cars. All you know is you got a car, you brought it, and it's tripping. So I called some outside. I had to call the outside big dogs to do some troubleshooting. I called the shop. I was going to send it over to the shop just to have them troubleshoot it, to tell me what's going on with it. Then I would take it from there just to figure that out. And I'm like, wow, this some bull crap. Then I understand. I need to go online too and look up some diagrams while I'm talking. So 8 o'clock, it's going to be short and nifty, 15 minutes. I got to do something for the Most High. I don't like last night. I come in at 12 o'clock, but I still got up at 7 something. I was dressing at 8 and was out that door no later than 9. Got a ride to go get the piece that I broke. Now it's something electrical that needs to be tended to. So I called an electrician to come and troubleshoot. He gonna come with his little tools that's gonna. Okay, this was wrong. I don't have them big boy toys yet. Yet. I can only do so much with my little multimeter. I'm missing something too that helps, like color-coded diagrams that narrow the wiring down. The new pigtails they sell are all black. I don't know why they don't give you a diagram. I didn't stop to think they need to insert a little piece of paper with a diagram for each line that new pigtail connect to. They need to insert or put the numbering for which line, because each line has a reference. They serve a purpose. They're not just there. A reference line, hotline, and ground. Yeah, reference is a 3-prong. Reference, hotline, and a ground. But it's like it's not grounded somewhere. It could be a frayed wire, broken wire, because those wires are the covers. They covered up pretty good. Lexus ES350. I did a tune-up on it, took the plenum up, changed the spark plugs, and when I went to go check, make sure everything was tightened down, I'm rubbing my hand around. But those wires are hard and brittle. And I fucking pulled one wire out of a pigtail end. And fuck it, that thing has been a nightmare. 2 days I've been over there. Today make day two. This morning I went and bought the pigtail, not thinking I'm so fucking excited that I done found, okay, smack that on. It ain't like the old joints. I should have went to the junkyard and got it with the wiring on there. But then I just knew I took a picture of that thing, man. I just knew I took a picture of it. I know the yellow. So yellow, I know the yellow is on the end. That's the only one I know. I done been through schematics all over Google. All over. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna go online and see what else I can tap into. That's why I need to get live all data. I need to get that all data. You can pull that shit right up. I can plug it into my phone when I'm on the road. I can pull diagrams up, have a master class. Like I was talking to one of my old friends, and she was telling me like, shit, you can charge them $100 to bring them in there and teach them everything about brakes or transmissions or, you know, charging system, starting system, the differences in systems, how to approach them, a hands-on approach to solve problems. I was like, you're right, 100. I was thinking like $45. Give them like a 2-3 hour class, show diagrams, how to navigate the systems, how to disassemble, reassemble, torque measurements, how to understand torquing. Uh, what else? Yeah, and for the do-it-yourselfers, there's a lot of us out here, and a lot of people I noticed, if they had access to direct information directly concerning, oh my God, that would step your game up in such a way which will allow you to be able to navigate these machines, you know, teach you how to test them out, the components out, test them. Then you can get the right scanner, you're gonna spend some money on it that can power those components up even if the car running or not. These scanners are high end and they're elaborate, where they allow you to go into these computers and power up these components from the scanner. I'm like, yeah, I don't have that kind of money yet. Y'all probably like, well, you always talk about you ain't gonna get no contract with a bank. Nope. Sure ain't. I will earn that money. But until then, I'm paying up for it out my nose. I'm gonna have my man diagnose it. Bring me some good news and I'll complete the task myself. And ain't nothing wrong with that, but the owner like, oh man. I'm like, bro, no, don't do that. I assure you there's something in the wiring. He's gonna troubleshoot that boy with this tester, what's the name of that tester? Electrical tester. Shoot some juice through there. Let me tell you if it's an open or short or something, broken wire, or if it's a problem in a line that's affecting the car's drivability or starting and charging. He's gonna kill it. He like Columbo. The man is cold blooded. I charge you like 45. He's like, I'll charge you 120 something. I'm like, no, I just need you. It's like old school. He used to give me I used to send him he gave me a lot of support with learning how to pull dashboards down, to do heater cords. To do heater cords, you got to pull the whole dashboard down. And from him coaching me, shit, I was already open to learning how to service and repair automobiles. He taught me them techniques. I was gone. I don't recall us ever disassembling and reassembling a heater core during the training courses. Hmm. No, not a heater core. It taught me how to understand the system, test the system, disassemble and reassemble when you change, disassembling and reassembling when you're changing parts in the system. And when my man man, I'm like, bruh, ain't nothing wrong. I understand your concerns. I'll be motherfucking mad, but I'll keep it cool because sometimes you'll run into a situation like that. I wasn't expecting this shit. You came, I asked him. I should have scanned the car. That's why I know. First one I always talk about, okay, once they tell you, then your professionalism should kick in. Okay, you told me your assessment. Now I'm about to check the car from the front to the back of it, from top to bottom. I will scan it, take it for a road test to see what's happening in the driver, depending on the nature of what he tells me. But generally, I do take it for a test drive to get a feel for it. Then pull it in there, jack it up. I do semi ROs. You pull that sucker in there. I don't want to write that stuff down because and have you sign it before you might leave the car because people don't understand and I understand, but come on, man. Motherfucker came in driving is gonna leave driving. I had a problem with that. My last two cars, that Nissan, dealing with that tank. I dropped the tank and I go back to try to once I put it back, shit, it wouldn't start. I'm like, what the fuck? Stop playing. Well, come to find out, I don't know how, but the wire jumped off. I'm like, oh shit. This once I put the new one in, after we established that the old one wasn't working, period, because I hadn't touched nothing. Well, I did touch something, but it was in there. And I noticed with that new one, by being a remanufactured, that's cool, aftermarket. Not reman, but not reman manufactured, but aftermarket. Sometimes they expect to be off because I looked at the old tank where you connect it and the connector. That's the second connector I now have fucking problems with. But I wound up solving that problem with Junior's car. I said, ain't that a coinky dink? I realized it was the connector. That mother, I let the tank down, made sure it was plugged up, the power source was plugged, and the gas source was fully engaged, plugged. Which they were. Start the car, and I'm like, motherfucker started right up. My dad looked at me, I was like, didn't he say something? I'm like, yeah, something was wrong with the car. So I go and get to strapping the tank back up, plug everything up, strap the tank back up, and messed around, and it showed his face. I went to try to start it again before I hooked everything up. And it showed his face again, Tommy. I'm like, what the hell? So I'm sitting there like, no. Cars are not hard to deal with. But if you hit me on my gut back here, you'll swear. He swear up and down destroyed. So I'm like, no, man. I just hope you ain't nothing wrong with timing belt because it did start and he drove it around the corner. When it shuts off, I know it's gonna shut off because if that light is on, then that means that the timing is off. Because the cranks won't clear. Camshaft sensors, they won't clear. It's 2 codes for a camshaft sensor. And I asked him, was the fucking light on? First he told me no, then he told me yeah. But I'm like, man, just be cool. It's good. But yeah, talk about a fucking strain on you. I never expected that, but I ain't giving up. I'm like, nigga, I ain't. Your ass done had it 48 hours. I don't know. My hygiene is 48 hours. But Junior's pigtail popped out. Why? Because the rubber wasn't fit. You didn't have that rubber fitting on the plug end, the female end of the fuel pump. It's a rubber generally be orange or blue. Sometimes you get purple. They generally orange or blue. Well, his didn't have it. And they made it pop off. It clicked, but it popped out. I'm like, what the fuck? So, of course, I got busy. Found the insert that will grip it. And they should stay locked. I'm like, what the hell? So when I started moving it, when I started reassembling, as that line was moving, that thing probably cocked, started cocking. Probably at 1 or 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, because that's just a small space. A few millimeters, that's all it took. And that sucker popped back. I'm like, oh, hell no. I clicked it and I pulled it myself with my hand and it came right off. I'm like, what the fuck? And right now I'm dealing with that again, a pigtail, which I pulled the yellow wire out. So the yellow I know is the end wire. It's the black and it's the ground and the hot. So the yellow must be the reference. The red is the hot line, the power line, then the black is the ground. I'm going online and look this up. Okay, one more minute and it's over. But if we, long story short, if we don't support financially, first coming together and loving on one another, and then bringing what we have to offer to the forefront, because we're in a war family. We're in a spiritual war. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, so I ain't stuck on white people. That's a deterrent from keeping you moving forward. Yes, I'm watching the numbers and being aware is to be alive. Everything that's going on. But I'm not being entangled with that. Oh, let's go March. No. Hell no. We divest from doing business on a long-term scale, but we can turn that energy to empower us. Black first. You know, we meet on the battlefield. We got to put down our differences just for the sake of the nation. What they talking about? 2050? We'll be rated as having zero wealth. Like, stop playing. The devil is alive. Why would you put something out like that? If you love them people, then you should put measures in place. They know what we know what we need. We need no statutes. We need reparations. We want reparations because then we can bankroll whatever we got going on. The money coming right back into the system anyway. Some of us are going to take it and go plant seeds in other places. Because I want to go plant some seeds over in Burkina Faso. Real talk. Y'all don't have to pay attention, but I am. That nation is on the rise, and Africa will bring long-term security. Because why? Africa owns its own resources. Africa don't need the debt to do business, and they did. Burkina Faso don't, and they established their own banking system outside of the IMF and World Banks. They established their own bank. So there's a way out. If you fight so hard to be like them, you're gonna close your mind's eye to understanding real knowledge, real knowledge, real tools that you can apply today. Like I was thinking, like there ain't gonna be no last time. It's gonna be a minute because I need to focus on my clothes. I gotta order a bag of like 6 or 7 t-shirts and a shirt apron. I need to upload that stuff online tonight. Go get my other printer from downstairs so I can print this image for it. I wish I could make the image through the vinyl. Find those. I wish I could upload it, but the picture she sent me is sideways. And I will have these shirts done. That's my business. I wouldn't care what's going on out there. I'm gonna make sure things get taken care of, but I got to take care of that thing. Today Tuesday, tomorrow Wednesday. She won Thursday. I'm gonna upload and make sure I can get the image up tonight before I go to close my eyes. I'm gonna go to sleep early. Because I want to get an early take. I gotta get that car running so I can prove all things. I don't know what people be talking about, but my people, woo, we gotta strengthen us. We've been through war. And we still at war. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. We wrestle against spiritual wickedness in high places. People making decisions that's contrary to the will of the Most High God. Simple and plain. I don't care who it is. You can say, oh, well, what are we going to do if we don't follow this and follow that? It's going to be just like if we don't do it as a people. Come together, combine our forces, put our businesses on the forefront of I'm doing business with us, black first. Do all things. Yeah, you can do business with outsiders, but we want to lead because we lead with a different spirit. We're different. We'll work the details out later. But because you're a Christian, and I recognize that we are Hebrew Israelites, don't mean we shouldn't do business. I'm not coming to do business with your Christian religion. That's yours. We need to be doing commerce. You know, we need to be doing commerce and brotherhood. You did? Coming together for real. Other people can do it. I don't care what they're saying. And all those offset groups that pop out of that's not a part of us, like they want to give us the gay agenda, like that got something to do with our nationality. Stop playing. Our nationality is Israel. And I don't have nothing against them, but that ain't what we're about, fam. You know, God gonna judge us all, but that ain't what I'm about. Because that ain't what the Most High about. Go read Leviticus chapter 18, verse 20. Read it, and you tell me what the Most High say. I ain't gotta talk about it. No, that's off. How we gonna have kids? We gonna go get a simulated child? The hell out of here. I ain't got time. We ain't gonna make time. And I'm looking to live long like the ancestors. I ain't trying to leave the earth. The earth is ours. The Most High built it for us to rule. If you don't, like I was saying, if we don't empower ourselves, use our own money to empower those that you send in the midst of them people. If you don't send them with an agenda and with some money, then what you think they're gonna get done? Absolutely nothing, not too much. And then what's gonna happen? Like I'm quite sure Brandon Johnson had the best of intentions for the people. But think about it. The people ain't send them up there with that bankroll to do business for them. So he need money to push an agenda. He need groups. that's supporting these things and bringing these things to the forefront. No, we sitting back depending on them to come up with. No, we know what we need. They don't know what the hell we need. They ain't got it right yet. What are reparations? They steady bringing all these bills and measures. Stop bringing measures through to talking about for talking about a study on reparations. You already know what they did, man. Stop playing. Y'all steady wasting money for somebody to sit in there and tell us, oh well, no, man. You watch it on the news. You see it in movies. Right now they celebrate Negro History Month, which they changed to Black History Month. It was Negro History Week. Then they commercialized everything. They commercialized you. Look at our last names, for real, fam. You just got to wake the hell up, man, before it's too late for you. Before it's too late for you. And those that you affect with that complacency, you got to come out of that, fam. We got to rise. I don't just say we're chosen for nothing. I say it for a reason. And put that stamp of approval. The Most High put the stamp of approval on. I just believe. We're going to see some great things coming out of our people. Spirit, especially out of our people, his people, and other people that love him. They his people too. Gentiles can come in. Stop messing with the Gentiles. I heard a sister video that Brother Apostle Curtis Lewis put out. I've been subscribed to this. The sister brought it out. She's like, yeah, we get caught up in that spirit of like the Pharisees. We thought we was something great. Like and the Sadducees that didn't believe in certain aspects of the culture. And they definitely didn't believe on Messiah. That's who kept trying to bust his head. You know? That's who. Especially when he said he was the son of the Most High. Like, okay, well, am I the devil then? Like, y'all forbid. You want me to say I'm not the son of God to please your lives? Get that out of here. Get that out of here. You can't play with the master teacher like that. He came to establish the kingdom. He did not come here to establish no Christianity. I just heard a dude, one of the Hebrews, got on his bumper. Who was that dude? Light-skinned fella. He a Christian. He got a little following, so I guess he think he got the... Y'all know one thing, he got some freaking kahunas on him. Come out here, and I remember him in his early days. What's that fella's name? He's one of them army dudes. So he's already indoctrinated with their philosophies and things. You already know he believes in their ideals. Because he taught that same message. Coming out of Israel is a lot of our people around here, the slumber brews, that refuse to open their eyes to see, like, I got some staking coming on here lying about what the Bible is saying as to who the people are and all nations are, and how we're to come together in unity to do the will of the Father, regardless of what nation you are. It don't matter. Everything gonna come under the authority of the Father. But we understand there's a real covenant. Like dude talking about the Hebrews are what do you say? An occult. I'm like, huh? He a Christian. Can you believe the audacity of these Christians? I see it all up and down TikTok. I'm like, who the hell did he? I don't see it all, but it's one in particular. The Hebrews. Every time his catchphrase on there is something talking about the Hebrews don't tell the truth. It's a line code, or he'll say some crazy. I'll be like, they just want to siphon off the energy of the awakening. Pay that old dead ass Christian religion. Hebrews are not Christians. I hear a lot of Hebrew Israelites. I'm going to be controversial. I challenge that. Hebrew Israelites are not Christians. The Messiah did not come to establish Christianity. Get that out your head. And the sooner you get that out your head, the better off it'll be. We can be those who are set apart, Gentiles and Hebrews alike. We can be set apart unto Him. We don't have to be into no idolatry. We ain't messing with them people. Forget them people. We transcending. We going higher. We going higher on the 5D. That's why people don't understand your conversation. Because you are in a higher place. They don't understand it. This dude talking about Marcus Rogers. That's his name. Talking about the Hebrew Israelites of code. You might can say that about certain people that got doctrines that are contrary to the Bible that say they are Hebrew Israelites. Yeah, I hear some freaking. I hear some doctrines. I be like, what? Stop playing, man. Go run that back, bro. You on front stage. Y'all campaigning hard on these platforms to push, get people to join these, all this stuff, but I'm trying to get people to join the book and consecrate themselves to the Most High at His feet. Not to no group. Yeah, we have a community of like-minded believers, but no. Now you siphoning off the energy that's supposed to be going towards the kingdom. Well, the things He has for you to do. You siphoning that off. You got to eat this. You siphoning off the power that should be directing you to Him. But we give it to contracted churches. Churches have contracts to be able to operate. And it's called what? I know y'all know. And I don't care that, let me tell you something. I'm like I just said, I ain't looking for no followers. My girl be on that. She be like, why ain't nobody on? I'm like, yes they do, they check it out. But if they choose not to, that's on them, right? They can make their own decisions. Black people are fully aware of what's going on in the earth right now. And if you're not aware, that means you choose to be willfully ignorant. Trump, I just heard about, he proposed taking over. I hate to talk about worldly events and what's going on, world politics and all this and that, but it's gonna affect you where people are gonna feel like, and it's written about in the Bible. Well, what are we gonna do? The government's turning against us. Businesses are turning against us. What are we gonna do? Just like the beginning of my conversation, you got to come together and stand on your own. Stand as sons and daughters of the Most High. Because you got a book of the law, that's your instruction manual. The real law, the law of the land, natural law. When you talk about these people and their little fake policies, man, they don't even honor, they don't stand on law because you know they don't, because they don't honor it. When they do wrong, they pat themselves on the hand. The Bible calls it something different, but you know what I mean. They deem themselves not guilty of whatever they do. Remember when Solomon, the Most High, told Solomon to ask anything he desired. Solomon told him he needed wisdom to be able to judge his people righteous. You need wisdom. And I ain't talking about earthly wisdom. You need understanding of how things operate down here, but I believe it'll be a much more rounded understanding if you begin in the spirit realm with the Father. I was explaining to my buddy earlier, you came from heaven. I asked him, like, where you come from, bro? Think about it. He thought wisely, he a king. He was like, I know you looking for a particular answer. Yes, because with that answer, it's going to measure and show you where you at. Do you really truly believe the Most High? Or are you just saying that? Now, when I said that, of course, the conversation kind of shifted. It wasn't that more talk about God, but we was talking about practical things, knowledge and how to apply it so we can start to get these businesses established. We can get out there and be working. on our own ticket. That's what I want. That's what you went to school to acquire the knowledge from the get go. So you can apply it, get to that bread. Do it your way, the right way, the godly way, the most high way. Why? Because we the people. That's what we promote. The people of God. They don't got nothing to do with being Jewish or trying to take like Marcus Rogers. He said we're a cult. But Jewish people, the people he promoting are the same people that I listen to and how they talk about the Messiah, and I'm like, really? You got a few of them that whose eyes have been open and they understand, but the majority of them, I think that even the ones that reject them, you read that Talmud, I couldn't even bring myself to read it. I had the chance to, but I'm like, no, I hate to even think about the stuff they say about the Messiah. I don't even want to hear that. Oh no, they don't even understand the word of the Father. They so out of tune, like they so in tune. Bros, y'all don't even know the word. Y'all reject the word. Do you know you rejecting the Father? It ain't about Christianity. The Messiah is not a Christian. He didn't come to establish Christianity. And y'all steady running with that 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 weak wine. Y'all know who started that. That was y'all ancestors. Stop playing. Y'all know where that come from. Y'all be killing me, and black people be allowing that bullshit to persist instead of being truthful people or godly people. Godly people gonna tell the truth. Them onions, baby. I put a little light toast on the bread, get a little char, put some butter, it's soaking in there, butter. Yeah, yes. Now I'm grilling that cheese, melting that cheese. Talk to me. I got to get out there early, get a foot early. I'm gonna go online and look up schematics. I know I'm gonna find it. I need that all data update. I'm gonna go on a rent all data. It's like 100 or something a year. I'm gonna rent it because it will pay for itself for a subscription, yearly subscription. It'll pay for itself, and then I can create a budget for it. Like my lady this morning, I'm telling her I hire somebody. She's like, "How you gonna hire somebody? You ain't got no money." I said, "It's a teaching moment, son. You gonna empower yourself because you're not gonna snap back at it. Usually I snap back, be like, say something real quick, like, lady, you can't tell me along the lines of making her to know that I don't care what you say or what you think, but I am a creator. You can't tell me what I can or can't create. You know, I know American, but Hebrew. We are gods, children of the Most High. We are creators. Are you crazy? And she sit there and watch me create designs, and I sell designs, custom made vinyl designs. I just bought some screen printed designs. I got to get these hoodies. I got to finish that car first though, but I'm gonna get to that around this weekend because I have those shirts from sister. I got to get those done by Thursday. So we on the piss off. We on the work front, but that car first. Then I got another car. I didn't even get to it. I know the neighbor like myself. But he see me in the back messing with that car. I'm gonna get that car out of there tomorrow. I don't have problems like that with cars. Even if I do encounter them, we solve problems. You know, on all levels, we solve problems. I'm going to find a diagram because I do know how to read electric schematics. I can read schematics, period. So I'm going to go and do my research. by the bottom so I can solve this problem. So I can allow the law of operating through the instruction to solve that problem. It's gonna work itself. It's gonna work. Time it up. That time is up. Gonna be the time. You can do. I doubt it. Woman, you cheering for them people like you live out there in South. Our people be tripping. Like we don't need to come together and create our own. I guess I'm just a dreamer. I guess I'm just a dreamer. Mm-hmm. These people going crazy and dog. That's anywhere. Black people, you need to learn. Yeah, you might have got brought in. I hope he do get in office, and he might have the greatest of intentions for the people. Just keep the people invested because the people don't get invested with that bread. Guess what? That's a township, right? Well, that town has functions and it has certain things in place that allows it to run and operate like a smooth machine, right? Well, if we don't put that bread in it to empower those who you help to get in office, them people ain't gonna get corporations ain't gonna give them that bread to do. No one expected China just hit America with 75% tariffs, a major economic blow to America. Dig that. So everybody fighting against that dollar. America.
Power of discernment. The world is filled with deception, and many walk blindly.
Also, sir, Troy. Oh yeah.
Ladies and
Troy.
gentlemen, this is Intervlog.
I like
I said
Intervlog.
this is Intervlog.
Yes, yes.
Your window into Africa's most inspiring stories.
That's
Today,
right.
we bring you an extraordinary development from
Mm.
Burkina Faso that has the entire nation celebrating.
And
A powerful
again.
testament to the visionary leadership of President Captain Ibrahim Traoré. Jubilation swept across Burkina Faso as nearly 1,000 newly acquired tractors and trucks were.
You know what they finna do with them tractors and trucks. And that's what I just said. Burkina Faso. I would look to invest in whatever they got going on. All these money managers and accountants and advisors, man, shut the fuck up and pay attention to Burkina Faso.
And the future.
You want some exactly hope and multiplication and long-term future.
President Ibrahim Traoré
You want to pay attention to Africa. Don't be ignorant.
Make bold decisions. At a time when many leaders might prioritize military expansion, President Traoré chose a different path. By redirecting a portion of the 2025 defense budget originally allocated for weapons, he invested in what truly sustains a nation, its agriculture. This strategic move comes at a pivotal time. With militant threats significantly reduced, Burkinabe youth are returning to the land, embracing farming as a noble and prosperous profession. And now, thanks to this massive fleet of tractors, these young farmers have the tools they need to thrive. Let's talk about people like Thomas Coulibaly and Michelle Coulibaly, two new farmers who have recently taken their first steps into agriculture. In Solenzo's fertile plains, where the land is rich and welcoming, these men are cultivating hope alongside wheat and potatoes. Thomas Coulibaly, standing proudly in his 25-hectare wheat field, sees beyond the golden stalks. This is my first time growing wheat, he says, and I'm amazed at how well it's doing. This land has the potential to feed not just my family, but entire communities. Michel Coulibaly, equally enthusiastic, has ventured into both wheat and potatoes. With a beaming smile, he shows us his ripe wheat field and the early sprouts of potatoes. At first, I doubted if this would work, Michel admits. But now, seeing these crops flourish, I'm inspired to double my efforts. Next season, I plan to cultivate 10 hectares of wheat. Both Thomas and Michel speak of the invaluable support they receive from agricultural officers who regularly visit their fields, offering guidance and technical advice. They also highlight how the state is committed to purchasing their harvests, ensuring financial stability, and encouraging even more Burkinabe to join this agricultural revolution.
And that's what's up, Ibrahim. That's what I'm talking about, because that brings a return.
Nearly 1,000
People don't pay attention. I can care
now
less.
safely docked at Ghana's Tema Seaport
Look,
are more than just metal and engines.
but open your
They
eyes.
represent opportunity. Designed for cultivation, irrigation, and
Yes,
excavation, these machines will revolutionize how Burkinabe land is farmed.
Yes,
The
yes.
Minister of State, Minister of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries Resources,
Yes,
Commander
yes.
Ismail Samdi, personally supervised the arrival and reception of this equipment.
Yes,
His
yes.
mission to Ghana was crucial, ensuring that the machinery is swiftly transported to Ouagadougou and distributed to the National Office of Dams and Hydro-Agricultural
You
Development,
dig that?
FONBEA,
Electricity.
and the National Company for Land Development and Rural Equipment.
Do your thing,
This
Burkina.
equipment, valued at over 13 billion CFA francs, includes graders, hydraulic shovels, bulldozers, and compactors. With
Do
these
your
tools,
thing, Burkina.
ONBA and Sonator can now accelerate dam construction, rehabilitate vital infrastructure like the Haradugo site, and optimize hydro-agricultural projects across the nation. Water mobilization and availability for irrigation will improve dramatically, ensuring that farmers like Thomas and Michel have consistent and reliable resources to sustain their crops year-round. This not only strengthens food security, but positions Burkina Faso.
Fair use copyright. Fair use copyright. Listen, we're going to use this for motivation. Like I was just saying, Dalton just did some shifting. They got the mayor out of there and got another brother in there, I believe. or they'll continue to run and the brother's the front runner. But anyway, yeah, that's beautiful. But the fact remained is, if we don't come together and send them up there with the bread to do our bidding, you can forget about it because the vultures coming with the bread ain't gonna put them to work. They ain't gonna have no choice if they want to stay relevant in the office and get anything done. You gotta be able to do business. So that means we need to send our nickels up there in stacks and make it happen, empower them to do business. Or the wolves coming to get them. Take this Burkina Faso out. It lifts the spirits, man, for real. Make you feel good about our people. That's what I want to see. Yes, they're not buying all them damn weapons, although they have bought some good damn weapons and machinery. Mm, mm. But they're really pointing to the people in that nation to produce for in the righteous way, the right way. And you see the results, you see the fruit of what they're doing, and I love it. Peak game.
Also, as a leader in agro-pastoral development.
Mm-mm.
The success stories of Solenzo's wheat and potato fields are just the beginning. With this new wave of agricultural machinery, more Burkinabe youth will find empowerment in farming. The dream of food self-sufficiency is no longer a distant goal. It's unfolding right before our eyes. And here at Intervlog, we can't help but say, wow, just wow. This is the kind of transformative change that defines great leadership. President Traore's commitment to uplift people, investing in sustainable agriculture, and prioritizing the nation's long-term prosperity is a model for the entire continent. As the tractors roll into Burkina Faso, they carry with them the hopes and dreams of countless farmers. They symbolize a break from dependency and a step toward a future where Burkinabe fields flourish, feeding not just the nation, but inspiring all of Africa. Stay tuned to Intervlog as we continue to follow this incredible journey. From the fields of Solenzo to the bustling streets of Ouagadougou, we'll be here to showcase the stories that matter, the stories that change lives. Because at Intervlog, we believe in the power of vision, the strength of community, and the unstoppable force of a nation united in purpose. Wow, Burkina Faso, what an incredible journey ahead. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories from across Africa. This is Intervlog. Your voice, your stories, your Africa. Jubilation swept across Burkina Faso today as news outlets showcased photos of nearly 1,000 newly acquired tractors and trucks, a testament to President Ibrahim Traore's transformative vision. With militant attacks significantly reduced and more Burkinabe youth embracing farming, President Traore made a bold and strategic move, redirecting a portion of the 2025 budget originally earmarked for weapons to invest in agricultural machinery. This decision strengthens Burkina Faso's agricultural sector and paves the way for long-term food security and economic growth. The fleet of tractors designed for cultivation, irrigation, and excavation has safely arrived at Ghana's Tema Seaport, marking the beginning of a new era in Burkinabe agriculture. The Minister of State, Minister of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries Resources, Commander Ismail Sombi, carried out the Thursday, February 20th, 2025, a mission to the Republic of Ghana. The objective of this mission is to note the arrival and reception of equipment intended for the operationalization of the National Office of Dams and Hydro-Agricultural Development on Ba, as well as the strengthening of the intervention capacities of the National Company for Land Development and Rural Equipment, SONATER. Faced with the urgency of the development of the perimeters, the rehabilitation and the construction of the dams, in particular the Haradugo site, the Minister of State, Minister of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries Resources, Commander Ismail Sombi took the initiative to go to the Republic of Ghana to supervise the arrival and the formalities necessary for the rapid reception of the equipment. The equipment, with a total value of more than 13 billion CFA francs, was acquired from the state budget, consisting of graders, hydraulic shovels, backhoe loaders, loaders, bulldozers, mixed sheep's foot compactors, smooth rollers, and tandem roller compactors. This equipment constitutes a major investment for the development of the country's hydro-agricultural infrastructure. It reflects the vision of the head of state, His Excellency Captain Ibrahim Traoré, in terms of improving the mobilization and availability of water for irrigation and strengthening the capacities of the agro-pastoral sector. At the port of Tima, the Minister of State, Sombi, accompanied by the ambassador of Burkina Faso to the Republic of Ghana and the heads of the structures concerned, supervised the arrival and unloading of this equipment, which will soon be transported to Ouagadougou. This acquisition marks an important step in the implementation of hydro-agricultural development and water resources management projects in Burkina Faso, in order to ensure greater food security and strengthen irrigated agriculture for continuous production. With this cutting-edge equipment, ONBA and Sonator will now be better equipped to intervene effectively on the ground, develop the necessary infrastructure, and optimize the country's hydro-agricultural developments, thus contributing to the success of the Burkinabe government's agricultural policies in accordance with the objectives of the Initiative Présidentielle for Agricultural Production and the Offensive Agro-Pastoral Halieutique 2023-2025.
y'all.
Banwa Province on wheat and cultivation time. Solenzo, February 23rd, 2025, AIB. The agricultural offensive is underway in Solenzo, where the soil is favorable for the cultivation of potatoes and wheat. This Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, the AIB visited the fields of two producers to observe the evolution of these crops. In the field of Thomas Kalabali, we discover a parcel of about 25 hectares imbued with wheat and at full ripening. Thorns, similar to tall grasses growing in swampy areas, actually contain a valuable food source against hunger, according to Thomas Kalabali, who is experimenting with growing wheat for the first time. As for Michel Koulibaly, who has also experimented with wheat and potatoes, he displays a satisfied smile, showing his ripe wheat field. He identifies the extent of his parcel and mentions his experiment with the potato, some of which tubercules are already visible. At first I had doubts, but Solenzo's land is well adapted to the cultivation of wheat and even potatoes. See for yourself, the field looks promising. It gives me courage to do more after this harvest, Michel Koulibaly assured Midfield. According to him, agricultural officers regularly visit him to provide advice and follow-up. Thomas and I planted a total of 5 hectares of wheat, but if the yield is good this year, I plan to grow 10 hectares alone in the winter, he added. For the potato, he explains, having exploited a small portion of the potato to gain experience before fully embarking on this production. Regarding the difficulties encountered, Michel Koulibaly points out the appearance of caterpillars, but thanks to the chemical treatments, the crops are doing well, both on his field and Thomas's field. For the harvest period, these two producers are waiting for instructions from the agricultural services, because, according to them, the state would have committed to buying the produce after harvest. The speech of Burkina Faso, Minister of State, Minister of Agriculture, Animal and Fisheries Resources, Commander Ismail Sombi. Distinguished guests, my fellow Burkinabe, it is with immense pride and gratitude that I stand before you today at a moment when the winds of change are sweeping across our beloved nation. Today, we celebrate not just the arrival of nearly 1,000 newly acquired tractors and trucks, but also the vision, determination, and resilience that have made this achievement possible. This milestone is a testament to the unwavering commitment of His Excellency, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, whose leadership continues to illuminate the path towards a prosperous and self-sufficient Burkina Faso. Let me begin by highlighting the gravity of this moment. In the past, our lands cried out for attention. Vast fields lay barren, and our farmers struggled with outdated tools, unable to fully harness the potential of our fertile soil. But today, quand le vent tourne, même les feuilles mortes dansent. The tide has shifted. With the arrival of this formidable fleet of tractors and trucks, we are embarking on a journey that will transform the very fabric of our agricultural landscape.
That's what's up.
These nearly 1,000 machines, now safely docked at Ghana's Tema seaport, are more than just metal and engines. They are the seeds of hope, the tools of empowerment, and the harbingers of a brighter future. Redirecting a portion of the 2025 defense budget to invest in agricultural machinery was a bold and strategic decision by President Traoré. It reflects a profound understanding that
That's a true leader. That's how you know. Brother on real business. He ain't on no father. And I love it. Shout out to Burkina Faso. I know y'all get the message. Got another one. What else did he do? I just told you he started his own bank. Africa just started their own banking service, Burkina Faso. They dumped a franc. You got their own though, in which they have the resources to back any form of currency they put out there. Medium of exchange or a form of currency, whichever you want to call it. They got the bread to back it because they got the resources.
For years, Western powers have controlled the global financial system, deciding how money moves through major institutions like the IMF. This control has left many African countries, often labelled as third world, heavily reliant on these financial giants. But change is brewing. Just as BRICS is challenging this old system, Burkina Faso, under President Ibrahim Traoré, is also stepping up. Traoré is determined to break free from the grip of Western financial institutions and steer his country towards self-reliance. His bold move, launching Arzeka, a groundbreaking financial platform designed to reshape Burkina Faso's economy from the ground up. But what is Arzeka, and why is it such a game changer for Burkina Faso? To understand the bigger picture, let's rewind to the words of Professor PLO Lumumba, who once made a powerful statement about the IMF and World Bank. According to him, these institutions don't just offer loans, they trap nations in endless cycles of debt. It's a system designed to keep countries dependent, making it nearly impossible for them to escape financial control. And here's the catch. When foreign powers control your economy, they influence your politics. When they influence your politics, they control your leaders. And when they control your leaders, they can even set up military bases, ensuring they have the final say in who runs your country. Professor Lumumba also pointed out how even Africa's own institutions aren't fully independent. The African Development Bank, which was meant to help finance the continent's growth, has 88 shareholders, including the United States, Japan, France, and the UK. With such heavy foreign influence, its original mission has been diluted. This is why financial independence is so crucial for Africa. Leaders like Thomas Sankara recognized this decades ago. He famously rejected loans and conditions from the IMF and World Bank, pushing instead for true economic freedom. Today, President Traoré is walking a similar path, determined to rewrite the rules for Burkina Faso's future. If you are still watching this video, why not take out a second and hit that like button? Have you done that? Let us move on. Burkina Faso has taken a bold leap toward financial freedom with the launch of Arzeka, a brand new digital platform designed to transform how money flows in the country. Unveiled on January 30th, 2025, in the heart of Ouagadougou, this platform isn't just another financial tool, it's a game changer for everyday Burkinabe. The name Arzeka means wealth in the Moor language, and that's exactly what it aims to build, not just for the government, but for the people. Think of it as a giant hub where all kinds of payments come together, whether it's taxes, public services, or community funds. Instead of bouncing between different offices or waiting in long lines, citizens can now handle it all in one place. Here's the cool part. Arzeka makes payments super simple, whether you're using bank cards, mobile money, or direct bank transfers, everything's streamlined. Need to pay your taxes? Done. Want to support the Patriotic Support Fund? Easy. Even setting up your own digital wallet is just a few clicks away, but it doesn't stop there. The platform links up with existing systems like Orange Money, Move Money, Visa, and MasterCard. Whether you prefer using your phone, computer, or even basic USSD codes, our Zika has you covered. And if you're someone who still likes paying by check or cash, no worries, those options are available too. What makes our Zeka truly groundbreaking is how it's designed with the people in mind. It's about cutting down on long trips to government offices, slashing wait times, and making sure every citizen, no matter where they live, can easily access public services. It's also a powerful tool for the government to manage funds better, improve transparency, and gather real-time data for smarter decision-making. When the Burkinabe Prime Minister, Talba John Emmanuel Ouedraogo, officially launched the platform, he highlighted how our Zeka isn't just about tech, it's about sovereignty. This isn't a foreign-made system. It's built by Burkinabe for Burkinabe. It's a clear message that the country is ready to stand on its own, crafting homegrown solutions to its own challenges. He emphasized that while the country battles issues like insecurity, it's also seizing moments like this to carve out real independence, one where Burkina Faso controls its resources and its future. To him, our Zeka isn't just a financial platform. It's a symbol of resilience, innovation, and national pride. Perhaps the most exciting
Proud of y'all, Burkina Faso. Y'all doing it well.
By simplifying processes, increasing transparency, and promoting financial inclusion, our Zeka paves the way for a stronger, much bigger journey. Prime Minister John Emmanuel Ouedraogo made it clear. This platform is a major step forward, but its true power lies in how the Burkinabe people choose to use it.
The new 2024 GMC Sierra HD. Get 5.9 Sierra heavy-duty Denali models. That's over $5,300 in average finance savings.
Download the Kayak app to search and compare prices on flights, cars, and hotels from hundreds of travel sites. Then do what people do. Check sites Kayak already checked. Play word game, play different word games. Short, clue word, thought it would be worth more. Oh yeah, back to the Kayak app for a great deal.
Citizens and financial administrators alike to embrace our Zeka as more than just a tool. It's a key part of the country's mission to build a stronger, more independent economy. The government is all in on making sure our Zeka succeeds. The Prime Minister emphasised that the path to a new Burkina Faso requires everyone to pitch in, rethink old habits, and fully commit to this new financial system. For him, our Zeka isn't just a digital platform. It's part of a larger revolution in how the country manages its money. Bruno Raymond Barmouni, the Director General of the Treasury and Public Accounting, echoed this message. He highlighted that our Zeka was entirely designed by Burkina Faso's own public administration and is available to everyone, everywhere in the country. This wasn't something handed down by foreign consultants. It's homegrown, tailored to meet Burkina Faso's unique needs. So, what exactly makes our Zeka so special? Well, it's way more than a simple banking app. At its core, our Zeka is an entire financial ecosystem designed to streamline payments, cut down on corruption, and ensure that money flows where it's supposed to, into the hands of the people and the development of the country. One of its biggest game changers, total transparency. Every single transaction made through our Zeka is traceable, leaving no room for or hidden cash movements. This is a major blow to corruption and a huge step towards financial accountability. With our Zeka, but it's not just about keeping an eye on the books.
Especially
Our Zeka also makes life easier for everyday Burkinabe. It's fully integrated with popular mobile money services like Orange Money and Move Money, meaning people can pay bills, taxes, or even send money without ever stepping foot in a government office. Whether you're in the bustling streets of Ouagadougou or a remote village miles away, our Zeka brings financial services right to your fingertips. This is a big deal, especially for people in rural areas who often struggle to access basic banking services. Now, with just a phone, they can handle transactions that used to require long, costly trips into the city. But President Ibrahim Traoré isn't stopping there. Our Zeka is just one piece of a much bigger plan to break Burkina Faso free from decades of financial control rooted in colonial history. To fully understand why this matters, you need to know a bit about the complex relationship between Francophone Africa and France. Even though colonialism officially ended decades ago, its influence still lingers, especially in money matters. Back in 1954, France introduced the CFA franc, a currency for its African colonies. While independence movements swept through the continent, the CFA franc stayed put, keeping France's hand firmly on the financial levers of its former colonies. France maintained control over the currency's value, interest rates, and overall monetary policy. Francophone African countries weren't allowed to print their own money or adjust financial policies without Paris giving the green light. Even worse, they were forced to deposit 100% of their foreign reserves in France's central bank. Although that number eventually dropped to 70% and now sits at 50%, half of these nations' reserves are still locked away in France. And unlike many African countries with their own central banks, Francophone countries have none. Instead, they rely on the Central Bank of West African States, an institution heavily influenced by the French banking system. This setup has made it nearly impossible for these countries to control their own economic destinies. General Abdurrahmane Tiani once said, "Money is a sign of sovereignty," and for decades, Francophone Africa has been stripped of that sovereignty. This is where President Traoré's vision takes a bold turn. Determined to break the cycle, he's spearheading the creation of a Treasury Deposit Bank, a national financial institution that will give Burkina Faso full control over its monetary system. Burkina Faso is making bold moves to take control of its financial future, and one of the biggest game changers is the creation of the Treasury Deposit Bank. This isn't just another bank, it's a tool that gives the country the power to handle its own money without needing approval from the Central Bank of West African States. And guess what? That also means cutting out the influence France has had over Burkina Faso's financial decisions for decades. This is a major step toward ditching the CFA franc, the currency that's been a symbol of France's hold over many West African countries. With the Treasury Deposit Bank in place, Burkina Faso can finally start planning a smooth switch from the CFA franc to its own national currency. But here's a question. Why is President Ibrahim Traoré so determined to break away from the Western financial system? What's so bad about it that Burkina Faso feels the need to step out? To get this, let's...
What's so bad about it?
Why are sandwiches so much better hot?
I don't know.
What's so
Why
good
is
about
everyone
it?
Summer or hot gossip? Hotter is just...
Picture. The Western financial system has been around for a long time, shaping how countries trade, borrow, and grow. But here's the thing. This system doesn't play fair. If it did, rising global powers like China and Russia wouldn't be pushing so hard to leave it behind. For years, countries in the global south, places like Africa, Asia, and parts of Latin America, have operated under a financial system controlled by the West. It's like playing a game where the referee is also your opponent. The rules seem set up to favour Western powers, leaving others at a disadvantage. Add the dominance of the US dollar to the mix, and things get even trickier. Because the dollar is the world's go-to currency, countries that rely on it are left vulnerable to Western politics and economic decisions. A single policy change in Washington can send ripples, or even tidal waves, through other countries' economies. Take Russia, for example. When Russia annexed Crimea in 2014, the West hit it with heavy economic sanctions. In 2022, after the invasion of Ukraine, the sanctions got even harsher. Russia was basically cut off from the global financial system. Its banks were frozen out, its trade routes restricted, and its economy took a massive hit. But it's not just Russia. Other countries have faced similar sanctions for going against Western interests. It's like the global financial system has become a weapon, not just a tool for trade. This is why countries in the BRICS alliance, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, started looking for alternatives. They wanted a system that couldn't be used against them every time political tensions flared. Their solution? BRICS Pay, a payment network that lets member countries trade directly using their own currencies, bypassing the US dollar completely. BRICS Pay isn't just about avoiding sanctions, it's about freedom.
That's what I said. Your assets, or what we see as assets, could be losing monetary power. That is the kickback from other nations. And it's not just those five nations. It's more. And these are mineral providers. Like you see America right now doing a deal with Ukraine for the minerals. Why you just pay? You just footed their bill for the war. Why would you pay? No, we own you now. You gonna give us that? You gonna give us that? Like what the? But when it come to us, forget about it. They ain't gonna play fair.
Freedom for countries to control their own money, make their own decisions, and stop living under the shadow.
Okay, we got enough of that. Fair use copyright. Fair use copyright. I want to hear what this brother talking about. It's the brother who created
The
UFC.
mafia in the oil industry is more deadly, but I've been fighting battles all my life. These are the words of Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. There is a reason why anyone who proposes alternative energy ends up losing their lives. From Nikola Tesla, Eugene Marlow, and Stanley Meyer, who came up with a vehicle that could run on water. Sadly, he was poisoned at a restaurant while meeting some Belgian investors in quotes. And you know who else was poisoned? Maxwell Sugulani Chikumbutso, the Zimbabwean inventor behind the self-powered vehicles, appliances, and other machinery he claims run on radio waves. Maxwell Chikumbutso was raised in Kuwazana, a high-density suburb in the western part of the capital, Harare. He had a very tough upbringing, which led him to dropping out of school at Form 2, which is grade 9 in other countries. His big break came at the age of 15 when he converted to Christianity. And soon afterwards, he started seeing visions.
It all happened in 1997. Yeah, 1997. I was 17 years old, and I still remember vividly. It was on the 23rd of September. I was praying in the church at a corner. God visited me and I heard a voice which says, "Thus said the Lord, I'm going to use you." I was given a scripture in the book of Isaiah 49, verse 7, which says, "Thus said the Lord, the Redeemer of Israel is one. To him whom men despise, to him whom the rich are born, to a very of rulers, kings shall stand arise. Princes also shall worship because of the Lord. That is faithful, and the whole of Israel, and we shall choose thee."
Maxwell Chikumbutso started working on the microsonic energy device back in 2003. Though this is his most popular invention, it is not his only invention. He developed a radio broadcasting machine, which was eventually banned by the Zimbabwean government for operating illegal. He also developed a digital navigation facilitator for the aviation industry that could help planes run optimally when landing. But because he didn't have an educational background, he could not secure funding for it. Fortunately for him, the first working prototype of his microsonic energy device started working in 2009 after enduring health complications. Despite Maxwell trying frantically to get funding, he could not.
That's why I
Eventually,
don't
this
try
big
to.
break came when Dr.
They're gonna
Teddy
come to
Almeida,
you.
an Angolan businessman based in South Africa,
They're
gave
gonna
him
come.
500,000 US dollars with no strings attached in 2015. Through that, he came up with his first prototypes: a self-powered car, helicopter, drone, and self-powered generator. These were widely publicized. Despite all this, Maxwell Chikumbutso was heavily criticized by people in the scientific community. He was labeled a scammer. The argument, even to this day, is that his inventions defy the laws of thermodynamics. To make matters worse, Maxwell Chikumbutso was arrested in 2018, facing 6 counts of armed robbery, alongside 5 alleged accomplices, charges he denies to this day. Despite all this, Chikumbutso's work gained the attention of Foster Gamble in 2018. Foster Gamble, the heir of Procter & Gamble Empire and producer of the acclaimed Thrive documentary, came with the scientist Niels Rognerud to Zimbabwe to test out Maxwell Chikumbutso's 500 kilowatt self-powered generator.
Wow.
After weeks of rigorous testing, they concluded that his 500 kilowatt generator was in fact real.
So where's your money from? We are harnessing it straight away from the natural energy that God has just put in our head. Yeah, the radio frequency.
So nothing unusual, but the main point is that reiterate there's no frequencies being transmitted from a microwave tower next to the park we're standing in.
Despite all this, the media was still against Maxwell Chikumbutso, and getting arrested for armed robbery did not help his cause at all.
That
In
man
a
is
quest to
not an
get more
armed
exposure
robber.
for his inventions, Maxwell Chikumbutso traveled to the United States of America.
Oh
He was
no.
based in Santa Monica. There he started developing
No.
drones. Whilst in America, Maxwell and his business partner, Dr. D. Almeida, were allegedly poisoned. And eventually, Dr. D. Almeida ended up succumbing to the poison. Chikumbutso later returned to Zimbabwe at the invitation of the president of Zimbabwe. In January 2022, Maxwell Chikumbutso unveiled the world's first self-powered TV. And once again, he received backlash from the public. After years away from the public scene, in 2025, Chikumbutso resurfaced and announced the launch of his self-powered vehicle in conjunction with Kaiyi, a Chinese automaker, a bike, and a portable generator.
Even when we try to file a patent, they say you are violating the natural laws of physics. So it's not an industrial applicable. We decided to take the trade secret route.
To hell with the
So
international
this
laws.
car you can also use it to power your house. It is a moving generator. When you drive from work back to your home, you can connect your power cable, then you can power your house. It gives you 15 kilowatts power to power your house. And the vehicle itself just got 160 kilowatts electric motor, which gives you a torque of about 320 to 380 meters of torque. That means it's fast.
Yes, man. Tesla ain't gonna like that. Tesla won't like that at all. I would love to drive one of those cars and put it to the test.
Backlash from his own countrymen, even internationally, despite even a reputable institution validating his works.
I think after hearing of his
I've always spoke about it. I don't care what the people talking about. They ain't talking about nothing.
and defining
He the truth.
laws of physics, I made it a point that I visited him, and it led me to his factory and laboratory. And I was as disturbed, confused as most of the comments that we were seeing to be on social media, which regrettably lack any information and are not factual about what is on the ground. I've touched and experienced the phenomenal, unbelievable
Tell the truth, brother.
power that is coming out of the microsonic energy technology.
That's
It's
what's
either
up.
Maxwell Chikumbutso has run the most elaborate scam in the history of the world, or he is in fact the genius that
Very
people
true.
will respect after he dies,
Yeah, they
just
gonna
like
respect
Nikola
him.
Tesla.
I
At
respect
the
him
time of
now.
posting this, Maxwell
Somebody
is now
when he
ready
died.
to sell
I
his
pray he
inventions
lives
to
a
the
long
public.
life.
So if you're watching this in the future, how did it go? Was it a scam or was it the real deal?
He's a real deal. Y'all better stop playing. Now you can buy him. I need to check that out. That's a beautiful thing. Look at Africa. Look at the chosen just springing up everywhere. Like we up in here. Self-powered. Nice word. Chikumbutsu. You see who's going over there, checking them out and investing in them. I ain't gotta say nothing. Attack on occupied Golan from Syria. Egyptian control over Gaza. The deal's fate. The inevitable war. Turkey, man, it's a
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We have a lot of important stuff to talk about.
Dr.
primarily
Ericana.
in-
I love this sister. Yeah.
Secondly, the Berlin Conference and what that meant when they divided Africa up into the 10 and then the economies. China.
Booking.com has all kinds of stakes.
The doctor be on business. She don't play games when it comes to Africa. And you shouldn't either. Y'all check this. What channel is that? I'll be in all the African sites to see the latest developments, you know, the mindset, the spirit. Even if I'm not there and investing in anything yet, just that's energy. That energy is promising to me.
The Berlin Conference.
Check it out.
And what that meant when they divided Africa up into the 10 and then the
That's the
economies.
Germans.
China cannot go into the same boxing ring with Benin.
No, they can't.
The United States cannot go into the same boxing ring with Central African Republic. It simply doesn't make sense. It was all by design.
Yeah.
And the colonizers who never left our Africa. They continue to control the economies of all African countries to this day. And until the African has control of our own economies, nothing we want to do is going to give us the Africa that we need, the sustainable Africa that we want. We must own the factories that manufacture our fabrics.
All right, y'all. Y'all check these sites out and do your own due diligence. Man. I believe it until proven, you know, guilty. I ain't like the other ones. They backwards. We different for a
Particularly
reason.
in view of the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area, I felt it very necessary that we should have this conversation.
Bring it
A
out.
conversation that's going to focus us and really get us to look at what it is that we want to accomplish in our motherland this year, 2021, as we implement African Continental Free Trade Area.
This old.
Once upon a time, our beloved continent was the center of the earth, was the center of the world. Once upon a time, our beloved continent was this beautiful tree of life that gave life not only to humanity, but to life in general as we know it.
When we left, it left.
Invaders came to our beloved continent centuries ago, and they started messing with this tree of life that is Africa.
Yes.
We must understand the tree that was, the tree that gave life
that is
to the world.
And shall be.
We need to understand what has been done to this tree to take it to where we have the Africa that is no longer the center of the world.
Exactly.
When we understand what has been done to Africa, it makes it easier for us to strategize on how we can undo the damage, the destruction that has befallen our motherland, the African tree of life. I think it's clear that we understand for this tree to have issues. The issues are either issues above the ground, which is what they have mostly wanted us to focus on, versus issues below the ground, which are really the pivotal issues, the issues that they strategized to see to it that Africa and her children are forever defeated and dominated. Allow me to classify the issues, the reasons why this tree of life that is Africa is ailing. And I'm going to divide the issues.
And that's why we need to awaken and come together and empower. That will cause a spiritual awakening and a stirring in the spirit in such magnitude that will reverberate around the world. That's the energy that's around the world because God's children are awakening. Exposes Africa's hidden curse. I'm gonna check this out because I'm glad people are aware of that. What is the nature of all this? Where does it come from? Yes, we know who carried it out, but you got to understand the root of it, which is greater than what we give these other nations power. I understand the Berlin Conference, but you got to understand, where does this mindset come from? Where does this heart come from that devises such wickedness? It's a spirit on them too. Yes, you were in a state of being under them curses, but now you're free. The curses are up. It's been a the Most High has poured His spirit out on all men. You think He gonna skip you? The people He in covenant with? Come on, family. And it's your job as a servant. That's where that covenant come from, to teach others of this. But you got to begin at home, family. You got to fix home. And I love what I'm hearing and seeing, and the hard work that Africa is pushing and to awaken us to bring us back. This is who I always heard say, why would you invest in a little stock market when you can invest right in the land of Africa? Okay, you got Burkina Faso right there. You got that brother over there in Nigeria with the oil refinery. That was just having Degado. What's his name? Degado, the oil magnate over there in one of the world's richest. He's an oil magnate over there in Nigeria. Nigeria. Degado, I believe something to that effect. But he just built his own oil refinery facility, and of course, others are in an uproar. They probably was trying to play him cheap, trying to bar him out, that old bullcrap ideology people operate according to. They don't want to open the doors, and if they do open the door, you best believe it's gonna feel like they didn't took everything before you get there. They a mess, man. That's why you gotta do independent. Mm-mm. I'm gonna work for the kingdom and take my chances and keep it moving. It's just how you move. You got to move in right standing, with a righteous mindset, with a heart for the people. You gotta love the people in order to do business with people for real. You're gonna have to, family. Because in these times, it's gonna be a testing of your faith, a testing of your spirit. Your heart is you focus on one way, going about doing it the right way. But you're gonna get tested, family. The enemy don't want to see you in your light. He don't want to see you in your zone. He don't want to see you get up. And what they say, glow up. You ain't gonna glow up without with that pure knowledge and with that spirit, that fiery spirit. Most I don't give you a spirit of yet humble, not being, bragging or none of that or disrespectful to people, but you have to be firm, fam. People try to run you over, tell you, people try to run you. You better put your foot down. And I'm one that I believe wholeheartedly. I'm willing to die by what I believe in when it comes to kingdom in that book. If you're not willing to put your life, not so much die, but I'm willing to put my life on it. Put your life on it and carry it, and with respects to what it is to the end. It's gonna get judged. Put your life on it. If you believe that, put your life on it. You do anyway. But recognize and know what you're attaching yourself to. Like I said, I hear these Christians. Oh, them Hebrews are cult. Ooh, like where you get that out the Bible? The Bible is the Hebrew Israelite book. Stop playing. It's talking about a people, and you can see the signs on these people. I'm not listening to nobody else. I'm listening to the word and the spirit because it matters, and that's how we're gonna overcome, family. It ain't gonna be no easy road, but think about it. You pretty much successful when you got your irons in the fire and you working these ideas. You really you really building a foundation. You can start laying the bricks, laying the mortar, scaling that thing, make sure everything in alignment. What the pastor say, make sure that everything is plumb, in a straight line, tight, neat, and you building. Don't let them discourage you with that bull crap. You don't need no vindication from no man. Nada. You know who you are, what you're capable of doing. Bring it, family. You don't know everything. You might have to go do a little more research. Practice makes perfect. That's more of a weapon of knowledge that you can put under your belt and go out there and exercise it. Not just for your good, but for you and your dependents. With respect to others. You may have some friends you might want to turn on to some game, to some a business move, which we should be anyway. But nah, I ain't messing with all that. Nah, I ain't doing all that extra shit. I've stopped all that. You know, products and services. But the products, I want to be able to sell to everybody. Everybody wear clothes. So there is a niche for selling clothes. Yes, yes. And only one can determine whether or not you can do what you do because you don't need a store. You can door to door, events, pop ups, rent places all up in and out through the city. They got pop up areas. You can rent areas to operate in for a week, a month, a few weeks, 7 days, yeah, a week, a month, few months, 6 months, a year. You can get the license. And then you're gonna have to pay operator's license, of course, for what you retail under your business. You might as well get the employees, hire a couple of few employees. You might as well go ahead and use your EIN and set up the bank account and get all that debt. People tell me, I don't want no debt, I'll clean my debt. The dollar is a debt. It's a debt instrument designed to be used to, if you buy assets of value that you scale, you make money off of. Put it out there and it's gonna make money. It's gonna sell, baby. Not so much for the money, but for the security, where you can make the right decisions to put you and yours in security. Get to that money, man. Don't lose your spirit. Don't lose your heart. Don't lose your character. And don't be afraid. Don't be following others. Be a leader. Most High is raising sons, kings. He's not raising no servants, no slaves. Yeah, you're a servant to him, but you're not to people. You got to keep people in perspective. Keep your relationships in perspective. Yeah, love one another, but you got to be firm out here, people. But you don't have to be. We don't have to be. Our only resolve is to get highly emotional and start acting out of character. Like who does that? We got to relearn to be more reserved. Don't tell nobody what you got on your mind. Just do it or keep it to yourself. You know, you have to retrain our mindsets. It works, for the greater. I'm out of here. It's been about 2 hours. Yeah, close to 2 hours, an hour 45 minutes. And I learned a lot, especially keep my eyes on Africa. And that energy I feed off of. One day I plan to go to Africa and I want to invest in Africa. Now they have the actual hardware in place to deliver that. You can make it happen right here off the fifth zone. You did? Invest in Africa. Okay, America, the dollar is being challenged and it's losing some of its power. Well,
President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin.
Hmm.
Thank you. Colleagues, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to welcome the participants of the Third International.
January 2025.
Trump is going to tell the truth, period.
Timber tech products compared to wood, it's really
That
the
and
only product
people
I personally found
talking
that has
crazy,
that
but
look and feel of wood. It's the
Trump
perfect-
is destroying fair use copyright.
January 2025. Eastern Congo. What happened next?
I don't know. Let's see what he's talking about. Look at this.
In just days, the M23 rebels did the unthinkable. They captured Goma, a city of 2 million people. Congo's army gone. Military posts abandoned. The government's grip on power crumbling. What happens next was even more chilling. The rebels made an announcement that sent shockwaves through Africa.
We are here in Goma to stay as Congolese. We will continue the March of Liberation all the way to Kinshasa.
We are marching to Kinshasa, the capital of Congo, was next. That's when the powerful voices of Washington made the move. America should sign to the rebels, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Top policy advisors urged Trump to support the rebels. Their argument was simple. Congo has trillions in mineral wealth. China controls most of it. A rebel's victory could push China out. The unknown rivalry between Trump and China. Trump has consistently made it clear that he wants to counter the malign influence of the government of China that has made huge investments in the DRC. But then, Trump did something that left everyone stunned. Instead of supporting a potential regime change, he stood with Congo's legitimate government, the same government that gave China access to trillion-dollar minerals, signed massive deals with Beijing, openly opposed American influence. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the hidden truth behind Trump's most shocking African decision. Because what I discovered changes everything we thought we knew about power in Africa. But first, let me reveal to you what really happened in Goma. Because the story you haven't heard might be the most frightening part of all. The fall of Goma wasn't just a military defeat. It was the moment that exposed a deadly game of power that hasn't been played out in Africa for decades. Let me show you how it happened. In late January 2025, M23 rebels launched what seemed like a routine offensive. But there was nothing routine about what came next. Day 1, rebels advanced from 3 directions. Day 2, government forces abandoned their posts. Day 3, 2 million civilians trapped. Day 4, Goma 4. But here is what the headlines missed. The Red Cross made discoveries of mass graves and things much worse that we can't say in this video. The United Nations confirmed it. M23 fighters had conducted summary executions, but that's not the most shocking part of it. Behind the rebels stood a much bigger power, Rwanda.
Today, on the 3rd of February, does Rwanda currently have any troops at all in Eastern DRC?
I don't know.
You're the commander-in-chief.
Yeah. There are many things I don't know.
4,000 Rwandan troops.
Shit, you never know what people private interests are putting together behind back doors. I can believe
10
that.
times smaller than Congo risked everything to support the rebels. The answer lies in something most people don't know about Congo. This country holds 80% of the world's quota, the mineral that almost every smartphone on Earth. There is a very high chance that the device on which you're watching this video right now has a part that comes from Congo. And in 2024 alone, experts discovered something staggering. The EU made an accord with Rwanda to secure minerals. This was almost like giving Rwanda the green light to do whatever it wanted to do in Congo's backyard. 150 tons of coltan were illegally exported to Rwanda. And just when Rwanda thought it had won, Trump made his move. And what he did next wasn't just about stopping rebels. It was about something much more bigger. Something that goes all the way to Beijing. You see, this isn't just about Congo. It's about preventing another Mali, another Burkina Faso, another Niger. France tries to control these countries through rebel groups and puppet governments. The results, they got kicked out completely. Trump realized something crucial. Supporting rebels for quick mineral access, that's something for yesterday's playbook. But there is something even much bigger.
Trump's smarter. Real talk, he's smarter than now.
Why Trump chose to start a China-aligned government, and it has everything.
Trump taking it right to the head.
That's about to change the future of Africa. What I'm about to show you connects everything. The minerals, the rebels, China, and Trump's shocking decision. Remember the Lobito Corridor? A massive railway stretching through Angola, the DR Congo, and Zambia. In 2023, while everyone was focused on Chinese investment in Congo and East Africa, the United States made a quiet move. They invested in this railway. But here is what makes this fascinating. This wasn't any investment. This was about creating something China never could. A direct route to transport Congo's mineral to the Atlantic Ocean. Think about it. What is worth more? Quick access to minerals through rebel control, or a legitimate long-term transport route for trillions in resources? Trump saw what others missed. Supporting rebels might give quick access to minerals, but supporting legitimate governments could lock in decades of influence. But this goes even deeper. China has spent several years building influence through infrastructure projects, mining deals, and government partnerships. And that's exactly why Trump's move was genius. Instead of fighting China's influence, he's doing something unprecedented. Working with China-aligned government, but creating independent transport routes and establishing American reliability. Remember how much mineral wealth we've talked about? $24 trillion in untapped deposits, 80% of the world's coltan, vast reserves of cobalt and gold. The old playbook is simple. Back the rebels, overthrow the government, and control the resources. We have seen this before. Libya 2011, government overthrown, resources gone.
The new 2024 GMC Sierra HD. Get 5.9% APR.
French-backed interventions led to chaos and multiple African coups leading to resource exploitation. And this old type of politics is what gave to leaders like Ibrahim Traoré. And Trump saw something everyone else missed. Supporting rebels doesn't just destabilize country, it pushes them eminently into rival camps. Emmanuel Macron can give you more lessons on that. Look at what happened. Mali kicked out French forces. Burkina Faso aligned with Russia. Niger shuts out Western influence. By supporting Congo's legitimate government, Trump isn't just preventing another civil war. He is rewriting America's African strategy. And here's what this means for the future. For Congo, stability over chaos, a chance to develop without rebel interference. Development over destruction, America will focus on infrastructure such as the Lobito Corridor. Legitimate trade over rebel control. Direct government control of mineral wealth. For Africa, a new model for international partnership. Working with governments, not against them. Respect for sovereign governments. End of rebel support era. For global powers or more superpowers will like long-term influence over short-term gains. Partnerships will be made over exploitation. Stability will be chosen over quick resource access. You know, there is an African proverb that perfectly captures what's happening here. When two elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. For decades, that's exactly what happened in Congo. Foreign powers fought over minerals, and the Congolese people paid the price. But now, Trump's decision might be changing this proverb's ending. Because when elephants choose to trade instead of fight, the grass can finally grow. What we are witnessing isn't just a complete change. It is a complete transformation of how global powers are going to engage in Africa in the future. The choice Trump made in Congo isn't just about one country. It's about whether Africa's minerals fuel wars or build nations. So here's my question for you. Is this new approach better than the old rebel support strategy? Drop your comments down below. And remember, sometimes the greatest changes come from choosing not to play the old game. This is Asokwe Luis from the strategic lens, helping me to see beyond the headlines. See you in my next video. Ciao.
You gotta check Africa out. That's Africa Today. Africa Today. I stay checking Africa. You learn so much. Africa sets the pace. It's end of NATO.
So the war started. What was Putin's intention in the war? I can tell you what his intention was. It was to force Zelensky to negotiate neutrality. And that happened within 7 days of the start of the invasion. You should understand this, not the propaganda that's written about this. Oh, that they failed and he was going to take over Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, understand something basic. The idea was to keep NATO.
You think we should be worried about the Panama Canal and what's going on there now? Yeah, I think what they're finding.
What the fuck they? I know Trump said he wanted back. What they doing?
We should be worried about the Panama Canal and what's going on there now. Yeah, I think what they're finding there is quite shocking, and I think it could potentially put us all in a danger that, quite frankly, I'm not sure I can get into right now.
For years, the Panama Canal has been a lifeline of global trade, a marvel of engineering that connects the world's economies like never before. But behind the scenes, something far more sinister has been unfolding. An ethical hacker, one of the few with access to classified data, has just uncovered a shocking truth. The U.S. government isn't telling the full story, and the real canal's sudden closure is far more than anyone could have imagined.
Close the motherfucker.
What was discovered beneath the waters?
Oh.
Who is truly pulling the strings? And why is the world on the brink of an economic and geopolitical meltdown? Buckle up, because this hacker is about to expose it all.
BRICS is rising.
A digital whisper
They got
that sends
natural
shockwaves
resources.
across
I
the
don't care
globe.
what they tell about.
It started with a flicker on his screen. Not a glitch, not a routine system scan. A whisper in the vast, silent corridors of the darknet. A place where secrets lurk in encrypted vaults, and only the boldest dare to peek inside. The ethical hacker had seen his fair share of digital breadcrumbs, but this was different. A message buried deep within an anonymous server, encoded in people in the world would recognize. A cipher used exclusively in military-grade intelligence transmissions. He almost dismissed it, another conspiracy theorist screaming into the void, until he decrypted the first line. The canal has been compromised. Close it before it's too late. His pulse quickened. For years he had operated in the shadows, uncovering hidden truths, exposing digital backdoors, and infiltrating systems thought to be impenetrable.
They be
But
killing me with this stuff.
This was a new game entirely.
I want to hear
The
what they're
message
talking about.
contained data packets, each one loaded with confidential reports, real-time monitoring feeds from the Panama Canal Authority, and seismic data that shouldn't exist. The files painted a picture of chaos, one that the world had yet to see. He hesitated, his fingers hovering over the keys. If this was real, then someone powerful had just made a move that could upend global trade. Someone had infiltrated the heart of the world's most crucial waterway. He double-checked the origin of the message. It had bounced through so many servers that tracing it was nearly impossible. But one thing stood out. It came from inside the United States. A whistleblower? A rogue agent? He didn't have time to wonder. He initiated a secure download, routing the data through multiple firewalls. His heart pounded as he watched the progress bar inch forward. The moment it hit 100%, his system jolted. A sudden warning flashed across his screen. Intrusion detected. System compromised. They were already onto him. Then something even stranger happened. Before his system shut down completely, another encrypted line of text flashed across his screen, as if someone else was inside of his system at that very moment, leaving him a message. You're not supposed to see this. Disconnect now. A warning? A threat? The ethical hacker had spent his entire life peering into places he wasn't supposed to. But for the first time, he felt something he never expected. Fear. An invisible force lurking within the digital world. His fingers flew across the keyboard. He had seconds, maybe less, before his system would be locked. The code attacking his rig wasn't just malware. It was intelligent, adaptive, designed to dismantle his firewalls like a scalpel slicing through flesh. He recognized the architecture. Military-grade cyber warfare, the kind used by intelligence agencies to track and neutralize digital threats. And now it was hunting him. With a final keystroke, he severed the connection, isolating the compromised drive. His laptop screen blinked to black. He took a deep breath. Whoever sent the message had known this would happen. This wasn't just a warning. It was bait. And he had taken it. But he had what he needed. Using a secondary system, he booted up the stolen files. The first batch of documents confirmed what he feared. The seismic readings from the Panama Canal were not natural. At first, the fluctuations had been dismissed as minor anomalies, but they had grown more pronounced, forming a pattern, a controlled pattern. He cross-checked the timestamps against global satellite surveillance feeds. That's when he saw it. Every time the anomalous vibration spiked, a vessel had passed through a specific section of the canal, one with no known geological faults. The ships weren't causing the disturbances. Something beneath them was responding to their presence. His stomach churned. He ran another analysis, filtering the ships by ownership and cargo origin. A disturbing trend emerged. Many of the vessels showing biggest interference had one thing in common. They had ties to Chinese state-run shipping companies. It was no longer a question of whether this was sabotage. The real question was, who had built whatever was buried beneath the canal? And why was it suddenly waking up? His mind raced through possibilities, but deep down, he already knew the answer. This was bigger than cyber warfare, bigger than sabotage. He reached for his encrypted phone. It was time to call in a favor that could get him killed. Before he could dial, his secondary system froze. Not crashed, frozen. Lines of code scrolled across the screen as if an unseen hand was reaching into his machine. The words assembled themselves like a grim omen, typed by an invisible force. You went too far. Then the screen went dark. His breath came in shallow bursts. Whoever was on the other end of this knew exactly who he was. They had been watching him all along. And in that moment, the world finally learned his name. It was none other than Ryan M. Montgomery. The hacker governments feared the man who had exposed some of the most classified secrets in modern history. And now, he had just uncovered the most dangerous one yet. He stared at the blank screen, knowing one thing for certain. This wasn't just a discovery, it was a warning. And someone, somewhere. A discovery beneath the waves that changed everything. Ryan Montgomery wasn't just chasing theories, he had proof. The encrypted files contained sonar imaging, detailed military assessments, and classified communications between top officials. And they all pointed to one chilling truth. The Panama Canal was built on something ancient. The first team to stumble upon it wasn't a group of archaeologists, but U.S. Navy divers sent under the guise of routine inspection. Their mission? To investigate anomalous seismic activity detected near the canal's deepest passageways.
Try Airwick's Essential Mist.
America be into too much. Anyway, it's been 2 hours, 10 in a row. Peace and blessings, y'all, with the love of Mashiach. Stay woke. Stay woke, stay woke. The heck was that? That wasn't Boosie I just seen, was it? I